Hi, I'm Vic Bonacci, and I work with Rocket 9 Solutions as a coach and a trainer. Now, I love working as a coach, going out with teams that might be trying to use Scrum or Kanban or whatever it might be, and helping them navigate through the change, because change is difficult. And I also love training too, because that brings a lot of people in at once to kind of get on the same page and understand what Agile is all about. Now, we know at Rocket 9 that you can't solve all your problems with training. That's why we put an emphasis on coaching. But beyond that, what I love about Rocket 9 is that in addition to being a coach and a trainer, I'm also wearing many other hats, as are my coworkers. I could be wearing a marketing cap one day and put on the sales helmet another day, or maybe in one day I'm jostling between sales, marketing, maybe some kind of operations or HR elements of the job. And it's really fantastic because that gives me a much needed empathy for the teams and the other clientele, the organizations that I'm working with. Not only do I know what they might be going through, the pressures of running a business, but we also at Rocket 9 use Scrum to run the business, so I know how Scrum might be a challenge to certain teams when they're just starting. So I think having that empathy is really profound. But I also wanted to tell you just a little bit more about myself, because this is the introduction to Vic Bonacci video. So in Southern California, I've been using Scrum for a little over 10 years now, and I've been very active in the community as well. Not only the local meetups, I started a podcast, I've been speaking at some regional and national events. I even chaired the Scrum Gathering a few years back, so that was a lot of fun. And I tell people who come to my training classes or people who I work with as a coach that getting involved in the community is so beneficial not only for the people that you could be interacting with, but really deeply for yourself. And I want to explain that. If you're familiar with Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, he talks about what he calls the Hedgehog Principle, where he's got 3 circles that overlap, like a Venn diagram. And he says in one circle, you want to find something for a career or vocation, something that makes you happy, that gives you a passion that you love. Another circle that has to do with something that you're good at. And then finally, the 3rd circle that Jim Collins puts out in the book is something that you can get compensated for, that you can make a living with. Well, the Japanese have a similar notion called Iki Guy. And what Iki Guy is all about is you've got your passion, what are you good at, what do you love doing? You've got the what are you good at, what can you do that other people can't, something that you can really bring to the table. And then finally, what can you get paid for? Those are the 3 that Jim Collins talks about. But in Iki Guy, they introduce a 4th one. What does the world need? And when it comes to Agile coaching, working with teams, working with companies, at Rocket 9, we really do put a focus on, is this needed? Is this something that the teams will want to have? Now for me, I feel very fulfilled when I'm in the center here, because coaching and working with teams is something that really charges me up. I love seeing people get it and change their workplace to a more saner, more fun place to be. So it's something that we think the world of work needs. It's something also that I feel like I'm good at and I can get compensated for. So I think that when we talk about do what you love or follow your bliss, you really need to consider these other areas. But definitely for me and for the folks that I work with at Rocket 9, we really feel like we're right here in the middle, that we've found our calling. And that helps us kind of cut through the clutter and the hubris of the day-to-day kind of negotiation, getting you in the door and all that. Once we're there with you, we really do settle in and inspire, I hope, the confidence that we can help make the workplace a more fun place to be. If you'd like to find out more about Rocket 9, you can go to rocket9solutions.com. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Agile Coffee. Agile Coffee is also the name of the podcast. So if you're listening to the Agile Coffee podcast, drop us a line. Use the hashtag AskAgileCoffee. And you can talk with me, Larry, or anyone else who's on the podcast with us at that time. We hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.